Regret can be one of the most corrosive forces in our lives. I'm not talking about that healthy kind of regret when we feel bad about something we might have said or done that hurt someone else. Regretting treating people badly can be a healthy experience and one that makes us better human beings. No, I'm talking more about that kind of regret that says, if only I'd done it differently, my life would have been better. If only I'd had the courage, if only I'd said what I felt, if only I'd done what my heart told me to do, then I'd be a happier person today. Taken to its extreme, this kind of regret becomes a mindset that can make a serious impact on our chances of happiness. We start to define ourselves by our regrets. They become the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves. We allow the stories to prescribe who we are and what we're capable of. When we do that, when we define ourselves by our regrets about the past, they limit our options in the present and the chance to do something different in the future. My regrets? When I was young and pretty, I lived in Italy. Lots of women paid attention to me, but I was too timid to do anything about it. Ever since, I've seen in my mind's eye the image of one gorgeous Italian girl after another looking questioningly at me, then registering disappointment when I didn't respond. The moment would pass, the opportunity would be lost, and I spent the next several decades punishing myself for my timidity and feeling genuine pain at my inability to grasp the happiness that offered itself. That, at any rate, is the story I've always told myself. And even though life went on and I'm happily married and grew out of that 20-something miasma, the regret remained and still causes me to squirm when I think about it. The events are long past, but the pain remained. So what can you possibly do to alter those old regrets? What's done is done, right? You can't change the past. When you look back at what you might call a formative event in your life, there will be the event itself, but there will also be the thoughts you have about it, the interpretation you make of it. If I could flick some switch that removed the interpretation that I made of my own romantic failures as a young man, if in some way I could take an objective view of how I was then, what would I see? Well, yeah, I'd see a shy young man who was afraid of looking stupid, afraid of being rejected or humiliated, and who lacked the self-confidence to act in his own interests. But I'd also see that there were reasons for him to be like that. I'd see events in his family, in his childhood, inherited fears and moral judgments. In short, I'd see that it wasn't his fault. It wasn't my fault. The Ho'oponopono practice is the switch that allows me to see that situation for what it is. I've found that repeating the phrases, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you," has had the effect of dissolving that mindset, that story that I told myself in which my own personal failings were the cause of my unhappiness. Realizing that has been truly liberating. And in the process, it provided an answer to another question I've been asking myself for a long time. When you say, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you," who are you saying it to? We'll talk about that in the next video. The purpose of this channel is to discuss happiness strategies, life hacks that are simple, safe, and easy to use. If that's something that you think could be useful for you, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.